Welcome, student. Now we will continue with these lessons that we already started. That is the souvenir. Okay. Just wait. Here, many messages are comes. Okay. Okay. Let us continue after pausing. Okay. Uh, The trip to the moon was exorbitantly expensive, but still Siley's mother had sent her on a trip. So here, that Siley imagined that the trip to the moon was very expensive, but her mother sent her on trip. In our childhood, we could not even think about such a long distance trip. The longest trip means going to Europe. If you are getting this opportunity, make the most of it, said Mummy. So there is a discussions on the trip which is going on the moon between Siley and her mother. Oh, mummy, Neha's grandmother was saying that in their childhood, the longest trip for school children used to be only up to Delhi or Calcutta. It seems so funny, isn't it? So, at this Siley's time, trip on the different planets was a routine. Okay, it seems to be funny, isn't it? The said Siley with laughing. Remembering the incidents made her laugh even now. Now the shuttle was getting closer to the moon. Then it started orbiting the moon. Within the 32 minutes, the shuttle completed one revolution round the moon. Light and darkness followed uh, each other in a quick succession. The dome shaped settlements on the moon, which resembled the igloos of the Eskimos, were now visible. So, this is a story of the Silas trip to the moon, and there are many there uh, uh, it was seen that there was houses of like igloos which seen by this girl. So they are developed well set human being well settled on the moon. After some time, Silas shuttle made a slow, measured, and safe landing on the moon. The door of the shuttle was opened. The children were escorted through the airtight tunnel to the settlement at Neil Armstrong Base. The receptionist at the entrance to the base gave some instructions at the very outset. I welcome you all the Neil Armstrong base to make your stay on moon pleasant and comfortable. I would like you to take a certain precautions. Listen carefully to my instructions and please follow them during your stay. You know that the gravitational force on the moon is 1 upon 6 that of the earth. The human settlements on the moons in the gravitational force equivalent to that of the earth has been artificially maintained, but outside the settlement the gravitational force on the moon is at work. So here the instructions are given to these boys to be very careful about the gravitational force, which is 1/6 of the earth outside the settlement, but inside it is like the earth, which is artificially created. Okay, you will have to extremely careful when you roam around there. The second point to the remember is related to the shopping on the moon. You all must be interested in carrying souvenirs back home from the moon. Please buy the articles only from the shops which are out inside the dome shaped settlement. There you will be assured of genuine articles. Do not buy anything from the unauthorized shop outside the settlements. So here instructions are given to the boys that you must purchase the food or other articles from the shop inside the dome. Okay. So there will be happy and pleasant trip on the moon. A jam-packed 3-day programs awaited the children on the moon. So the children have very much packed program of 3 days. According to the Earth's calculations, on the moon there will be 15 days of daylight and 15 days of night time. The 3 days on the trips were going to be the part of the night time on the moon. One of the most programs of the first day was sky watch. On the earth it was usually foggy. The stars were seen rarely, only and very faintly. There was no atmosphere on the moon. On the dark background, the moon sky and the stars shone dazzling bright. So it was that the stars were seen very brightly from the moon because of the absence of atmosphere, and the stars were seen very faintly from the earth because of this cloudy atmosphere. The most attractive view was that of the disk of the earth. On the moon sky, earth looked like the 13 times bigger than the moon in the earth's sky. It was only 70 times brighter. The earth's light fell on moon. This beautiful enchanting with the many made Sally and her friend statics. There fell asleep, feeling happy, excited, and comfortable at the same time. The second day's attractions was the circus on the moon. The one unique feature of the circus was the seating arrangement. The spectators were made to sit in the tent, and the circus was going on outside. High jump and long jumps were the special attractions. The one gymnast jumped 27 meters high. So, due to the less gravitational force, the person jumped 27 meters high. On both the days, besides the main attractions, Much time was reserved for the visiting various settlements there. It was expected that the student should spend some time for study. The teacher had assigned them the task of writing an essay how they spent their time on the moon, which places they visited, what they observed, and Sally and her friends were traveled far and wide and had done a lot sightseeing. So there are many settlements on the moon. So Sally and her colleagues visited the different settlements on the moon, many in a numbers. On the third day, their teacher took them to the place of historical importance. 100 years ago, Neil Armstrong had landed at this place. Everyone was looking forward to this visit to the historical monuments. It was an oldest place in the history of the man on the moon. The first footprints of Neil Armstrong was preserved on the moon land. Besides the footprint was a grand status. The Armstrong at the base of the statue were carved the first word uttered of the human being, a small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. The next attractions for the children was that they were going to wear a space suit for the first time. Then they were going to roam outside, experiencing the gravitational force of the moon. So the teacher gives instructions to the children that be careful when you walk, dear children. Don't run and sprint. You will fall. Teacher was warning repeatedly, but who was in the mood to listen? They hoped, jumped, and ran around by ornaments specially made from the stone from the moon were cheaper than those which is available in the settlement, cheaper and better. At least have a look at the roadside so they are on the moon, also shopkeepers or roadside shopkeepers screamed at the top of their voices, "Buy, sister, buy! I am selling these earnings really cheap, really cheap." Saying this, he approached Sally and displayed the set of shining stone earrings. Sally suddenly remembered her mother. Tomorrow they were started their return journey. She had completely forgotten her mother's last 3 days. She felt terribly guilty. But this sister, don't think much, cheaper and better it. Take it. Sally looked around. The other children proceeded ahead. Come on, give me those red rings, quick. Sally pointed at them and asked, What is the price? Only 1,000 rupees, replied salesman. Sally immediately paid the amount and took the earrings and ran to the catch-ups with her friend. Okay, so students, we will going to stop here, and we will continue with these lessons into the next lecture. Okay.